So let's start by learning elements. Elements are fundamental substances that consist of one type of atom, and they cannot be splitted into simpler substance by chemical process. So when we are saying elements, we are talking about the fundamental substance. So when you see substance, either solid, liquid, or gas, they are going to have elements. Now, the fundamental substance present in that material or that object is known as element. Elements cannot be splitted into any other substance by chemical process. So when you want to break down elements, you are going to get atoms of that element. Let's say, for instance, you have hydrogen and you want to break it. What you will get is you will get atoms of hydrogen. However, atom itself can be splitted into atomic particles. The process of splitting atom into atomic particles is somehow technical. For instance, we have cathode ray tube, we have discharge tube. Experiments performed by J.J. Thomson can use this kind of device to split atom into subatomic particles that I'm explaining here. So you cannot just go ahead and split atoms into proton, neutron, and electron by chemical process. No, you can't do that. You can only do it by using any other process, just like nuclear reaction, particle accelerator. That is when you can split atom.
Electron can break off from the atom of some certain elements, just like melters, when you expose them to heat energy. Now that process is known as thermionic emission. It's the liberation of electron from the surface of hot melters. Now the same melters can be exposed to rays or beam of light that is having sufficient frequency, and electron will also be liberated from that surface. Now the electron that is liberated is known as photons, which is also photoelectron. Now these are different methods by which you can break off an electron from the atoms of some element.
Here we have three subatomic particles, which are electron, proton, and neutron. Now for proton, the number of protons present in an atom will make the atom special. What did I mean? Now when we are talking about peculiarity of atom, the difference between one atom and the other, we are talking about the number of protons present in those atoms. Now the number of protons determine what an atom is. For instance, when you have an atom that has a single proton, the name of that atom is hydrogen, so you call it hydrogen atom. So the difference between atoms is associated and attributed to the number of protons present in that atom. Now for electron, when we are talking about the chemical properties, chemical reaction of atom, we are talking about electron. So electron is responsible for the chemical attributes of atom. Now for proton and neutron, they are made up of subatomic particles again. Now for electron, you cannot split electron. Electron is negligible. Electron is very small, so it's having negligible mass. Now however, proton and neutron, they still consist of subparticles again. Now the name of that subparticles are called quarks. Quarks. So which means that you can still go ahead and split proton in particle accelerator, just like particle physics. You can split your proton and neutron. So which means that they are made up of particles that are known as quarks. Now we have 6 different types of quarks. We have up, down, strange, JAMB, bottom, and top. Up and top and JAMB, so they are having +2/3 charge, while down, strange, and bottom. Now to get this, you don't need to cram anything here. Let's just use analog. Now when something is up, positive, top, positive. When someone is very charming, JAMB, positive vibes. So that is why up, top, JAMB, they are positive, not just positive 2/3. So you don't need to forget that again. Now when something is down, strange, bottom, it should be negative. So that is why down, strange, and bottom is having -1/3 charge. Proton consists of 2 up and 1 down quarks, and a neutron consists of 2 down and 1 up quarks. Now to better understand the meaning of atoms, let's see this picture. This is an atom. At the middle of any atom, we are going to have subatomic particles. Now these are subatomic particles, as you can see. If you look at it closely, we have green and red particles that are intertwined, that are in between one another. The whole of this that is at the center is known as nucleus. So when you say nucleus of an atom, this is the nucleus of an atom at the center of an atom, and it's made up of 2 distinct subatomic particles. The first one is neutron. Here I'm using the red particles, I'm calling it neutron. Neutron, neutral, neutron. Now neutron is having 0 charge. I'm still going to explain the reason why neutron is carrying 0 charge. It's electrically neutral. It's not positive, neither negative. It's 0. The green one are called proton. So I'm just using green color to show proton here. So the green one is proton. Proton, positive charge. P for proton, P for positive. Now proton is going to be positively charged. It's having the charge +1 charge. That is for proton. The 2 of them together, they are called nucleus. The question is, why are we having neutron here? Now if you look at neutron very well, it is in between the proton. They are intertwined. Remember the law of electrostatics, that like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Now in the nucleus, if you have proton alone and each of these particles that are positive, there will be a repulsive force. The repulsion will be in between them. Now in order to counteract and counterbalance this effect, we must have another particles in between them. That is why we have neutron in between proton. That is why they are mixed together, just to balance the effect of electrostatic charge offered by proton. That is the work of neutron. Here exists another particles again at the surface that revolves around the nucleus. From Neil Boyle, what he theorized. Now he's saying that electron is just like planets revolving around the sun. Just like how planets are revolving around the sun, is still the same scenario for electron. Electron revolve around the nucleus. So electron is going to be negatively charged. Now let's look at it. Electron negatively charged, -1. Proton positively charged, neutron neutral, no charge. Nucleus made up of proton and neutron, and electron revolve around the nucleus, as we can see. Now let's have proton and neutron as shown. I've explained that there exists some rings around them. Now those rings are the path followed by electron, just like the satellite that revolve around the Saturn, just like the ring around Saturn. The same thing is applicable to nucleus. Now, electron is revolving around, as you can see. I've explained this. Proton is made up of 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. Earlier on, I made mention of quarks, and I said that proton is made up of 2 up quarks and 1 down quarks. The up quark is carrying +2/3 charge. Down quark -1/3. So when you go ahead and add all these charges together, what are we going to have? Let's do the mathematics. The overall charge of proton is going to be this 2/3 plus this 2/3 minus this. So, and when you do the mathematics, you are going to get 3/3 or plus 3/3, and you are going to get +1. So that is why the charge of proton is +1. For neutron, we are going to have something like this. We have 2 down quarks and 1 up quarks. So when you put the charge there, down quarks is -1/3. So you have -1/3 plus -1/3 plus 2/3. So when you do that, you get 0/3, and at the end of the day, you get your 0. So that is why the overall charge of neutron is 0.
Now we have painstakingly learned the atomic structure and subatomic particles. Now I'm going to summarize what we have learned so far, and I'm going to give you the nuggets in this video. Now the first thing I talked about elements. Elements are fundamental substance having only one type of atom. When you divide elements, you get atoms of that element. Now, atom is made up of subatomic particles. The first one being proton, neutron, and electron. Proton and neutron are in the center of an atom, so they represent the mass of an atom. Proton being positive, and proton is responsible for the peculiarity of an atom. Proton is carrying positive charge. Proton is made up of another subparticles again that is called quarks. Now, proton is made up of 2 up quarks and 1 down quark. I talked about neutron. Neutron is responsible for the mass combined with proton, mass of an atom. Now, neutron is neutral, is not carrying charges, is not having charges. Now, neutron is responsible for counterbalancing and balancing the effect of electrostatic charge offered by the proton in the nucleus. The overall charge of nucleus is positive. I talked about electron. Electron revolve around the nucleus, and this is coming from Neil Boyce. Electron is responsible for the chemical attributes, chemical behavior, chemical properties of atom. Electron is negligible, very small. So when you are accounting for the mass of an atom, you don't take note of electron. Electron is carrying negative charge. Neutron is made up of 2 down quarks and 1 up quarks. Neutron and proton can be splitted into particles that are known as quarks. Quarks is having 6 types, 6 flavors of quarks. The first one, we have up, down, top, bottom, charm, and strange quarks. Up, down, and charm quarks, they carry 2/3 charges, plus 2/3. While down, bottom, strange quarks, they carry -1/3 charge. You cannot split atom. You can't split them by chemical process into various subatomic particles. However, you can use discharge tube, cathode ray tube to get electron. You can use thermionic emission to get electron from atoms. You can use photoelectric effect to get photoelectron, which is known as photons. You can use nuclear accelerator, nuclear and particle accelerator to get all these particles that we are talking about. All right, now those are the basic things that we have learned in this video so far. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe to this channel, click on the notification icon, like, comment, share this video. Now, in my subsequent chemistry video, so we are going to look at the atomic theory, the discovery of electron, proton, neutron, nucleus, and the quarks. So we are going to talk extensively on that, and after those videos I will be giving you some hints. So if you're writing WAEC, NECO, JAMB, you're writing AP exams, you're writing IGCSE exams, or you are even writing your 100 level chemistry exams, so I'm going to pinpoint the question that he used to ask. So I'm going to get a lot of questions and I'm going to strike the nail of those questions at the head. So why not watch my subsequent video, like and share and comment this video. I also have various playlists in this channel. I have the playlist for learning matrices, calculus, vector, coordinate geometry, heat energy, mechanics in physics. So you can check this channel out and make sure you watch my video. All right, thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.